Hello and welcome to Sage Thyme. Lillian here with you today as I touch upon the pulse of the collective, offering you a narrative to personally translate and assimilate, all in accordance to your highest design. So I have already pulled 4 cards from the Shadowscape Companion Tarot deck. Oh, and welcome to the new angle of today's reading. The sun is extraordinarily bright and dancing through the bamboo leaves outside my window, which creates such a lovely but far too bright glare on my face. And you wouldn't be able to see the cards. So here we are with the 4 cards already drawn. And I'm going to draw a single card from Spirit of the Animals, so we can take a peek at what wants, my goodness, these cards are so big, what wants to speak, what I'm feeling with the Spirit of the Animal Oracle is what tone of voice wants to be heard and regarded, essence and energy of animal, in particular with this message. Separate and distinct than the support of the animal. Not that that animal isn't supporting you, but there is a tone that seems to want to be heard. And that's actually a really wonderful way to derive unique messages from an image or a scenario that are commonly seen. And as you know, with tarot, even the more unique ones, I got several cards. Let's see who's trying to speak. Yeah, the bison. In particular, the white buffalo. No, it says bison abundance, and not that that's not relevant. No doubt it is. And we'll get to the reading of that particular one after we go over the cards. But for now, keep in mind, allow yourself to feel into the energy of the sacred buffalo, the buffalo, period. Okay. So here we have with your first 4, the sunshine's going to make me sneeze, I can feel it. Your first 4 cards, and if more want to come out, we'll give it a go. But the first 4 to come out were the 5 of Wands and the 3 of Cups, but they were in reverse. And the 5 of Wands coming out first in reverse, along with the general recognition of 5 of Wands, feeling like one is up against everything and everyone that is against them. And here we have this character, the one human amidst all the wands and the foxes, and he's holding his one staff among the 5. And what I'm drawn to is the light there at the end. And I'm hearing a righteous indignation that is now being put into a place of humble regard, introspective reflection, and a humility and the relatability and understanding of everybody's distinct different stories. And that is another thing that I was drawn to. And looking at this card, each of these little foxes is speaking of a different story to the same situation. They all have different expressions and poses, pointing in different directions. And here there's this one rabbit, the white rabbit. And what does the white rabbit do? He runs down the rabbit hole. So here are all these different stories and perspectives of how one scenario are, each one righteously indignant of its own truth. And when we're in reverse, we're coming into a place and being asked to go further into a place of, do you really know what you think you know? And if the answer is no, then you're on the right track. And coming up next to that, the Three of Cups in reverse. Isn't that a beautiful card? In reverse, it's even more beautiful as the images aren't as distinct. And I'm seeing here with it in reverse through the camera, the look of the Kundalini spiral. I know that that's not what it is. Are those? No, those are tales of the merfolk. But it's coming through today as a Kundalini spiral. And upward evolution that is occurring by the inverse, the downward release. The release of what was, what wanted to be, the stories of old, both good and bad. Letting those cups spill upside down now. Letting it all go. Letting it loose and letting it free. And then watching this Kundalini, this new knowledge intertwine and rise into a different surface of the water, turning things upside down. Reminds me of that movie, what is it called? The children's movie, BFG, Big Friendly Giant, I think. And near the end of it, this whole world reality turns upside down. And it opens up a dimension of entirely new possibility. And it opens up in a flipscape from the water. And so that's what I'm seeing is being encouraged here between the letting go of knowing what you know and realizing that the answer is no to knowing what you know, because everybody has a knowing. And letting everything just turn over and spill upside down, and doing so in a way that is beautiful, artistic. Yeah, not just fluid, but absolutely beautiful. And I'm seeing it in an artistic way, which actually then lends to the next card. And the next two cards are telling me what is coming from that. And here is the Page of Wands, right? Yeah. And in the Page of Wands, this is always my creative inspiration, this is what I'm gonna do, or I know how to apply this, or just the simple creative juices get flowing. And see how she has all the fox and the fae and the critters and overlays of multi-dimensional worlds coming into play as she's playing her violin, as she is creating from a place that comes from her emotional state, meeting the red and orange creative poultice of her fiery initiation. Creative poultice. Oh yeah, that's fantastic. I was also drawn to looking at this card. In the center of her forehead is her third eye. And it stood out a lot today, and that's telling me today that dropping of knowings, that, and I don't like to use the word ego because that's very limiting, and to exist in human corporeal form is to have a personality and an attachment self. It simply is part of the construct. And so I don't generally prefer, because it's used in too many different ways, but dropping the attachments to the things that we think we know and letting it all flow and fall out, emptying the self and letting that open up a greater wisdom. Yeah, and see, she is growing her fae wings along with the fairies that are supporting her. She's being initiated by the fairies. That is most definitely what, I'm not sure if this is focusing, what is being spoken to here. And so that wisdom and the connection to the imaginal realm, the creative poultice again is coming through, is an initiation that is being occurred, that is incurring, and can get the words in there. I think you caught what I have to say on that one. And then this one, the 6 of Cups. Oh, I love it. This is my fulfillment through play and imagination. Here we've got a scene similar to Alice in Wonderland, just a child having a tea party with all her friends, her stuffies, the critters in the woods, the imaginal beings that are coming through from the backdrop behind the veil and underneath nooks and crannies where the mushrooms are. And it's all flowing with these goldfish, these koi, moving upriver, which is counterintuitive to flow, but that's part of the theme. Go with what can be counterintuitive when it feels like play, when it feels like joy and or relaxed flow. It doesn't matter if the current is upstream or backwards. It doesn't matter how it comes out, but when it comes out and you're in that state of sacred self in the child, beginner's mind, an entirely new, lush environment starts to grow from your creative potential, your creative juices, and your creative modalities. New modalities might come in, most definitely, but I'm hearing and feeling that it's the kind of old, already inherent, powerful modalities that you have practiced and or are simply already available to you that are opening up and unfolding in a new way that you hadn't even known could be a possibility for you. So let's go back to the Bison card here again. And I'd like to read what it has to say. I am feeling the gentle but solid nature of the bison. It says, "Sacred buffalo, cloak me in your wisdom, keep me warm through the storms of life. Fill my life with goodness, teach me the way of gratitude and prayer." All right, let's read what it has to say here. And I'll hold it up so you can look at the image. There we go. The North American bison, also called buffalo, was the ruler of the American plains. Bison represented the abundant life, the will to survive, and the ability to adapt. Native Americans relied on them for the blessings of ample food, shelter, and warmth. They considered all bison sacred. If bison comes to you, it signifies that you are walking in harmony with Mother Earth. Call upon buffalo for guidance, and you will feel a great force rising within you. You can align with a surge from nature that will empower you. Oh, good, and it does speak about the white buffalo. White buffalo was most sacred of all. She brought the peace pipe and visible prayer to the people. If you are a bison person, you will feel called to connect to the Great Spirit in prayer. From this deeper place, all blessings and gifts will flow. Bison invites you to discover your own sacred way, create your own ceremonies, and write your own prayers. The great mystery is right beside you, just waiting. Just open the door and walk through. White buffalo is waiting. Again, much like the koi flowing intuitively upstream. The light's coming through stronger. This is a path of, in terms of the bison, the buffalo, a path of independence, finding family that isn't necessarily the family that not just the family that you know, but maybe not even the family that you see in any conventional sense. Let it unfold playfully. Let yourself create what family means. And if that is your best friend is winter holly berries and spring hyacinth flowers and ladybugs in the fall, and all the different parts of the natural world around you, how they speak to you individually, but also as an orchestrated conversation throughout every day of your life. Let that be your family. Let that be your community. Let that be your community if it's people that you only meet once from day to day. Maybe you spend most of your time working from home or in and out of a job that is pretty much the same and mundane. Let the things that are unique and new to each day, that participate and engage with you and then move on, let those be your family, because that is the nature of nature, that it comes and it goes and it flows and then it shifts and changes again. So again, I love, create your own ceremonies, discover your own sacred way, and write your own prayers. Make life, make creativity your expression, which could be simply the way you walk, the way your voice resounds and fluctuates, the presence that you hold in silence. Let those all be your own, and let them teach you as much as the world around you in response to those teaches you in return. Let it be fun, let it be playful, and get lost in it, in bliss. So go ahead, and if you would like to support this channel, go ahead and tap on that like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And I always love to hear your comments. So let me know what you think about what you're working with today and how this reading may or may not relate to you. All right, everybody, have a blessed day. Take care.